any of the innumerable connections between the two. Maybe. Here we go. Cool. So it looks like we are back. Nice. Okay, I think I'm just about out of tea. Okay, well, let's get this this whole thing going. Pull up my script. Yeah, so hey everybody, I'm Joshua. Today is April 23rd, 2017, and today I'm working on my video game Delver. You can see the website behind my head. You can find us at delvergame.com. Delver is a procedural dungeon crawler with fantasy, roguelike, and first-person shooter elements to it. Kind of think of it like a kind of a casual roguelike, but in some ways still not casual because we have permadeath and we have systems that aren't super forgiving. And yeah, so we try to be a good mix between a roguelike and Doom, if that makes any sense to you. We are in early access. We are on Steam Early Access for $7.99. You can also scroll down the page and find us on a Humble widget. You also get a Steam key with the Humble widget if you'd rather go that route. Do note the Humble build is behind the Steam build. So, just so you know, we're focusing on updating the Steam build more frequently. Well, when I say we, I mean there's two of us working on this game. I'm one half of the Delver team. I do all of the art, so all the visual stuff. So the 2D, the 3D. I do a lot of the level design. I do some programming every now and then. We're a small team. We wear a lot of hats. The other side of the Delver team is a gentleman named Chad. He is the guy who initially came up with the concept. He's done the program. He wrote all the programming, or most of the programming. He wrote the entire engine we use. Does all the business stuff. Everything that I don't do, Chad ends up doing. Let me see. I think that's the general spiel. Let's take a look at chat real quick. Hey, Mark Solly, Gunner Live, Bluestone, Javier, Python user. Hey, folks. I think Python user. I think you were chatting on the repo a little bit, so it's cool to see you actually involved in that. Speaking of that, it's a good segue, I guess, to go take a look at. I think I renamed it last stream, but now it's called the Delver Community Mods repo. So you can go to github.com/JoshuaSkelly/Delver-community-mods, and this is just kind of an open place to for your mods to live. Now, I guess I don't have any intention of publishing your stuff out of here. It's just a nice centralized place. So if you want to have an easy go-to place for the community to look at mod source, this is a place where it's kind of centralized. You don't have to put it here. If you want to, that's cool. I probably will make you go through the PR process, so there's a little software engineering practices going on there. But yeah, so this is something you can look at. I have lots of example mods out here. Some of the mods that I published on the Steam Workshop, you can find the source for out here, and you can find mods that I haven't published on the Steam Workshop because they were crazy, crazy things I did on stream. Looks like Bluestone is saying that audio quality is a little bit bad. How bad is it? I can try balancing it out a little bit. How about there? Was I maxing it out? Test. Yeah, I'm trying to look at my levels right now. I really dial that down. And maybe I'm also really just hyped up on tea. Test. How now, brown cow? Pull it down a little bit more. Where do you folks like it? I'm going to assume that since I'm not maxing it out, that's probably okay. So Geek Guy 100 says, do you plan on updating the Android version of the game? Actually, it's also an interesting segue. So you ask that question, and what I've done is if you look for the Delver page, you look for the community page for Delver. Go to the community hub. Where is that? It's somewhere on this page. Come on. You can just go to the discussions. Yeah, so here's the community hub. It has news and stuff. And then if you click on discussions, these are our forums. And here I have added a frequently asked questions thread. It's locked. but I have questions or answer questions that people ask commonly. So one is about the status of the Android build. So there's some text here you can read about it. But basically, the shortest story is we upgraded one of our frameworks we use. It has broken support for older Android devices, which people have purchased the game on. We don't want to break the game for them. We're trying to see if we can roll out updates to specific versions of Android/hardware, or if we should create a separate SKU. I think that's something we'll focus on more towards the end of the project. Right now, we are working on finishing the darn thing. Hey, Chris. Thanks for popping by. Cool. Thanks, Javier. Thanks for confirming that it's a little bit better. Cool. So I think that is that. That's community mods. This is our website. I usually do a... also, let me pop up in the GitHub app. Repos, GitHub, Delver. Maybe, I think I need to... It may have been a quiet week. Sync. Cool. Git status. And let me also pull that over there. Oh, so yeah, actually I have some work I haven't committed yet, so I'll just continue that on from last week. Yep, and it looks like we haven't really done many changes this week. I'm curious, let me just pop over to the Overworld Mark II branch. Take a history of that. Yeah, so it looks like it's been a slow week in development. I know personally for myself, I've been busy with contract work that is not Delver related, so that takes up the majority of my time. Again, we do this project in our free time, so sometimes the pace kind of ebbs and flows as life dictates. Even today, I had to push back my stream by 2 hours because so every Sunday while I stream, actually it's like I think the 39th or 40th Sunday in a row I've streamed, which I'm pretty happy to say. But every Sunday while I stream, my wife and my son go to swim class. And it's been a nice time for them to bond, but my wife hurt her back, and she's not able to really lift him anymore, at least for the time being. So I ended up having to, I stepped in and went to swim class and made sure that he still got to go and participate and do all that stuff. So we just had to shift the stream schedule by a couple hours to afford that. Cool. It looks like I straightened out my mic quality, and Geek Guy 100 got their question answered, so that's cool. So not a lot of changes this past week. Again, kind of a slow week, kind of letting you folks know where I'm at. And we can just launch right into... Actually, I think another thing, too, is I created a discussion thread about bugs. So now there's also a bug report thread, and I think there's some good ones in here. So Javier put a couple up here I want to take a look at. Let's do it right now, since I'm kind of in a programming mood. So when an item breaks, the hell text property doesn't change to broken text. So that's an issue that shouldn't be right, but let's investigate that. And then armor items don't lose enchantments when they're broken. I'm fairly confident this is a valid bug because I'm the one who implemented the weapon side of things, and I'm pretty sure I didn't do it for armor. So these should be two straightforward bugs to fix. But before I do that, let me just go ahead and log issues on that. Let me just go really quickly, just log issues on the stuff that doesn't have issues yet. So hopefully folks don't mind me doing some bug triaging on stream. Again, this is just trying to give you a glimpse into what development life is like. Let me see. Okay, so issues, new issue. I'm just going to copy this. Okay. Sorry. So I'll make this as in items are not properly updating their sprite when their condition changes to broken. Okay, the repro for that should be pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to include a repro. Let's assign it to me. Cool. Let's add a label as bug and player reported. And that should be good. I guess I'll throw it underneath the June milestone and submit. Cool. And then new issue. This is armor doesn't lose enchantments when broken. Ba, 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 ba. Enchantments to know when the condition is set to broke. Cool. So again, I will assign it to myself, and I will label it as a bug that's player reported, and put it in the June. Submit. And actually, let me also just maybe I'll do this as a weekly thing where I'll triage all the bugs in this thread and let people know that I'm actually looking at it. So, so created bug tracking issues for. Let's just take a look. So let's just make this a list. I'll say I think his other one was 65. Let's just take a look at this milestone, and there should be some bugs on there. Let's just fix that. Let me see. Yeah, so the Bluestone says, what do you think is the best programming language for beginners? Python, maybe? Chris says Python, or maybe something like GameMaker or Gmail. Adapunk says C#. Yeah, if you want to know my first game, it's actually on my GitHub. Let me pull it up here for you. Where is it, Joshua? Okay. Yeah, so wow, I think it was maybe 10 years ago, a buddy and I wrote this game. It's called Trouble in Cloudland. Here's the source code. I recently cleaned it up, so it should be in good shape. We have an itch page for it. It was made for the 2007 shmupdev.com AutoFire competition. You can download it, the binary here, and play from itch, or if you want to poke around the source code, you can take a look here. It's both Python 2 and Python 3 compliant, so it'll work underneath both of those interpreters. And I can't, again, I wrote this 10 years ago, so I can't claim that these are the best practices. I actually learned Python while making this project. But it is a playable game that still runs well today, and maybe there's something you can learn from there. Or my shame. Cool. So let me see. So I'm just going to keep making this list of these issues as I've added them. So there should be number 65. Sure thing, Bluestone. Yeah, I mean, for me, Python just clicked in my brain. It's mostly just finding something that allows you, that makes sense to you and allows you to work fast. Broken weapon not correctly showing broken text. And that is a shorter title, so let me just copy that and edit this and paste. Save. Cool. Okay. Then what's next? Hawaii Beach is reporting that the pipes are not solid. Yeah, I'll fire a bug on this. This might not get fixed till the end, but let's keep track of it. New issue, um, collision boxes for pipes are not at 100%. Did that right? Okay. Let me see. Do a QA pass on the pipe prefabs for collision boxes. So I'll assign it to me. This is a bug that is player reported. I'm going to put it in our future update, which is kind of way out there. So Mark Solly says that pipe is what he uses to do his trick speed running. Again, if you notice, I put it out in our future. We have a milestone called Future, which is set for January of 2020. These are things that we'd like to get to, but we might not. So I can't say that I will fix this issue, but I am just making a note of it. So it's out there, and like when we're getting close to doing like a polish phase, getting ready for releasing 1.0, we can look at those and decide at the end if we really want to fix them or not. Thermal Lampet, hey, thank you for stopping by my chat. Things are good. I'm feeling good. It's a good day. Let's get some work done. Yeah, so let's submit this issue. Thank you, Hawaii Beach, for reporting that. Submit. This is 67. So I'll just make a little note of that. 67. Pipe prefabs. Improve pipe prefab collision boxes. Why do I was always going to come up with a better title when I'm typing over here because I want it to be brief, and over here I'm not so I guess thinking about brevity. So there we go. So we got that. That's good. We're 67. So I think, Javier, I just didn't put a collision box for the vertical part. So the pipe does like an elbow bend, and I think I only did it for one of those and not the vertical part because I don't know. At the time I didn't think to like. I think the collision box ends right there ish. It may have just been a laziness on my part, just trying to get this stuff working. It's one of those things where you are moving quick, trying to get stuff done, it was good enough for the time being, so didn't worry about it. So fluid and torch in Cape 2. So let me also more information needed for list. Actually, I think this also is okay. I think what this is this is when you turn your quality down, and some of these meshes are flagged as low priority versus high. So I think I just need to do another. Let's do a new issue. Let's say do a what is it? It is a what do we call it in Engine? We have a term for whether it's like what level it draws at. I can't remember. Maybe do one of you modders remember off the top of your head? There should be a property on the mesh specifying whether it's a. I don't think it's detail or structural, but we have some term for it. Just waiting for that to run. Cool. Entity, misc meshes, tree. Level, oh, detail level. Yeah. Okay. So do a detail level audit on all meshes. Summary. Do a QA pass on the mesh assets to make sure they're okay. Again, this is a Joshua task. It is a bug that is player reported, and it will go under the future update as well. Cool. Submit, and that's number 68. Okay. Okay. Looks like the identify does not identify items in player inventory. Summary. Scrolls should ID all items. This sounds like a Chad problem. This is a bug that is player reported, and we should probably get this fixed for the next milestone. That seems appropriate. Player. Let me make sure I get that correctly. I think it was like it was the held items, maybe. Okay. Submit. Okay. So Lawrence Costigas. LAWRENCE. Please include a screenshot of the map to help us better troubleshoot. Also, at the top of this thread as well, I posted basically if you're reporting a performance issue, please give us your machine specs. If you're reporting a graphical level design generator issue, please include a screenshot. Especially with the level generator stuff, please include a screenshot of the map as well so I can try to track down if it is a hand-built room or if it is a computer-built room. So it looks like Josh7771 is having a perf issue. So low sensitivity is jittery. Now let me try checking that out. Let's see if I can repro this bug. Okay, so options, input, look at clicks Y, I turn this all the way here, back, erase, play. I wonder if he's referring to the. So I think my view is smooth, but I think the weapon lerp is a little off. Let me try doing the opposite, where I crank it all the way up, which is also a good thing to test. Yeah. So I think it's smooth. I think it's just the weapon is on like a delay to follow the camera, so maybe I'll ask for more info on that. And also let me restore my mouse values so it's not like crazy. There we go. Back. Okay, cool. Peach. Is it? So there's still a random crash. I've not experienced this, and I think there's only one person talking about that. Looking around is really jittery. There's still some issues with the full screen. Those have been logged already. This has been logged. Okay, cool. Didn't mean to hit that. Okay. Some pretty formatting to make it easier to parse. Cool. I think a weekly triage is probably okay. I'm not sure if I'll always do it on stream. Hopefully, you folks found this interesting. If not, I can just do it some other time off stream. But hopefully, this is a good way to let folks know that we are in fact looking at this. Yeah. Cool. There we go. And I think I was going to do some art today. Well, no. I think I said I was going to do a couple of those bugs, right? So let's look at. I think for the June milestone, I think the armor doesn't lose enchantments when broken. I think that's one I can fix right now. So let's take a look at. I think weapon is. Also, I can also look at the broken text too. Oh, it looks like this change may have gotten reverted. So this needs to be strictly greater than 0. Otherwise, it won't. It will. Yeah, let's test that out. I thought I fixed that, but maybe we've been merging some branches in, so maybe that got reverted. Bluestone says there's also a non-solid wall at the cave room. The one with the water in the middle. It's a wall block on the normal way you walk. If you include a screenshot of that bluestone to help you better track it down, or to determine if it's a computer-built room versus a hand-built room. Okay, so we got this broken text. Let's. What's the best way to do this? Let's look at items.dat. Real quick, let's just look at Iron Dagger. And it has a durability. I'm just going to give it a durability of 1 just for testing. Okay. I think it has a default durability of I forget what the default durability is. Let me see. 25. And then, you know, the different materials have different durability values. And I think Javier's been really good about trying to mimic that with his excellent weapons expansion mod. So we have a crappy Iron Dagger. And let's launch desktop and test this out. Cool, thank you, Bluestone. I appreciate that. It's very helpful. All right. Yeah, I guess so too. If you are new to Delver, I can play a little bit to show you what it's all about. I can kind of talk about it. So, whoa, I started off with Brawler's Iron Sword. Do I have a mod installed? I think I have Javier's mod installed, actually. Okay, that's, or maybe not. I don't know why I have this off the bat, unless there's been some changes too. Let me try that again. Race, new. Weird. Chad must be playing around with giving you a different random piece of equipment from the start. That's cool. Yeah, I guess I must have missed this change in the history of Delver. Yeah, I don't know. It's new. That's cool. But I wanted to look at Melee 1, crappy Iron Dagger. Oh, Marcel, you're working on a new mod. That's cool. Yeah, it's broken and it's not changing its... what's going on here? Let's try debugging that. Where is... This is being called... Here. Okay, debug. Javier, the greater than or equal to 0 sign is not correct because the sprite indices are 0 based. So, if that makes sense. Okay, Melee 1. So item condition. So step. Okay, so now the item condition is worn. Exactly. There we go. Step into. So yeah, this is right here. This is where we're resetting the. We're removing the enchantments. So if broken text. Oh yeah, you're right. So greater than or equal to 0. This text dot broken text. What is this text 0? Yeah, you're right. Blah, 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 blah. That's really weird. Okay, let me stop that. Let me rerun that. Yep. So that one should break fine. Should. I might need to test out a weapon that does not have a broken text value of 0. melee 1. There we go. Cool. F8, continue. Okay. So F8, F7, F8, F8. Yep. So this text, should be texture 8. Gets set to texture 0. Hotbar refresh. That should be fine. F9. And now it's correct. I haven't. Let me just try running it and see if we get the same behavior. So the broken texture, it would be the first. Well, the atlas and the crappy dagger text is something. Okay. Melee 1. There we go. Yeah, that seems to work okay. Let me try. Let's revert these changes. And let's look for this iron mace. We can make this a shoddy iron mace. And durability of 1. Run. You're saying held text. Oh. It might be an issue with. So, okay, melee 1, shoddy iron mace. It seems to be breaking correctly, Javier. It should be, it seems to be behaving as I would expect. Not sure if I can reproduce it. Yeah, it should be functioning fine. Let me make sure I haven't done any changes that I need to revert. Items. Yeah, let's undo, discard those changes. Cool, that should be fine. I can't repro this. So held text something on the mace. Okay, I can do that. So iron mace. Yeah. Broken text and held text to 11. That might be the issue, right? Yeah, it might be this text and this held text. We should be setting. We should be setting both technically. So I think that is the issue. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But typically, we don't use held texts for weapons because held text is usually something you use when you want to specialize. When you want to specialize the way it looks when you're holding it versus just the normal on the ground sprite. And it should be, yeah. So here it's broken, but here it's not. So yeah, I can just quickly. I think it's okay. I'm actually gonna do it later. And then this held text. This should fix it. Hopefully that's okay behavior. I'm trying to think like if you want a So you specify held text when you want to use something, when you want it to look different when it's held. I use this for the guns. I use it for the shields. So it's valid, but is it okay to override that when it's broken is my question. Like as modders, what would you expect? And this should behave as I expect. Yep, cool. Yeah, so Javier, you can also instead of changing the held text for changing the orientation of weapon, you can also change the animations themselves. You should be able to change the animation by rotating it 180 degrees from where it is. I know Chris has done some good work with having custom animations. I'm just trying to think what's the right thing to do here. Because if you specialize a special like a special texture, should I also add support for? Yeah, for another broken held text. Okay. Let me think about this one a little bit. I'll make some notes though. I should be able to kind of do something like. Bah, 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 bah. This results from not updating the held text property the weapon. Should we set the Cool. So this is something I'll talk to Chad about. Also pull Chad into the conversation as well. Cool. Comment. For the time being, let me just. I'm going to revert those changes. It would be this fix would be small, but I'm not sure if it's the correct fix, and that's kind of the trick there is trying to find the correct fix. Let's also look at. So for armor, I need to do something similar to what I did with weapon, and we need to capture when it breaks. Because I think I added an on broken here. That would do something special on broken, but I don't think armor. Pretty sure does not have an on broken. Oh, Javier, I commented the wrong issue. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, Control C and edit. Control C, cancel, delete. Yarp. Thank you for catching that. Weapon not showing correctly for broken text. There we go. Comment. Let's pull chat into this. Pull chat into this one. Let's go back to here. Let's look at the armor. Let's pull chat off of that one because I can do this one. So armor. So what I need to do. Basically, we're doing was used. if current condition text equals 0, and then I'm just doing a case where I say if this dot item condition equals item condition broke. All right, this is it's the class and not the instance. So item condition dot broken. This dot on broken. And then down here, I just need to create a there we go. Public static void. Not static. Come on, Joshua. Public void on broken. No params. And then you do this dot enchantment is null. This dot prefix enchantment equals null. There we go. It's broken. Let's just test this out real quick. Again, I'm just going to construct an item. So let's look at pants. Another pants. Ooh. Durability of 1. And then we have enchantment. Which should be an item modification, so I can copy one of these down here. So cursed. Okay. Pants. Yep. And this should be the prefix enchantment. So prefix enchantment. Then the vanilla enchantment. Let's look for a prefix. Should be armor prefix enchantments. There we go. Unwieldy. Yeah, trait. Let's get rid of the trailing comma. Let's fix our tabs. Save. So this should work. Plate. Cool. K, armor, 1, cursed leather pants, trait. Okay, that should be fine. Let me just equip them, and then just have that be the only thing I'm wearing. And then let's create an enemy. Dungeon. Oh, I still have the library mod installed too. Oh, goodness. That should be what I set it to, right? Did I goof that? So hopefully he doesn't kill me, because that would be embarrassing. They're not broken yet. I'm not sure how I... Let me see. This dot... Yeah, that's exactly what I did, right? Oh, wait. Do they have a separate armor enchantment? No, it's just prefix and enchant. I think we only separate those out in the items.dat, so we have separate um, separate categories of enchantments that we can pull from when generating stuff, like his weapon prefix enchantments. But I think they're just at the end of the day, they're just item mods. Is all they are. So it's just the same property. It's just enchantment and prefix enchantment. There's no real difference. It's just where you want them to be applied. So the question is, how do I get them to be broken? I can play a little bit, I suppose. That would be fine. That's probably going to make life hard, but I'll play a little bit. 1 gold. Thanks. Thanks, game. Super helpful. Oh, there's my shoddy. So this thing's going to break after a couple hits. Great. Sometimes having debug data or debug data is kind of a pain. There we go. Let's do, I guess, speed. Speed's the way to go. Hit me. There we go. Magic shield. So magic should stop poison and fire and those things, which is nice. I can still take physical damage. Uh-oh. What exploded? Oh, it's broken, but it didn't. Oh, yep. I'm in a tough way. I guess let's do attack. Have I broken my pants yet? Can they get broken? Find usages. Okay, let's debug this and see if I'm actually hitting that break point. Play, because I already have the pants and everything ready to go. Cool. Oh goodness, what's exploding? I guess this guy is. And this is a zombie. Worn iron dagger, no thanks. Yeah, so I guess I got this for if you've never seen Delver before. This is a procedurally generated dungeon, so the levels are different each time I play. The monster layout, the loot drops are all different. There are some systems we use together to kind of create these experiences. So part of my dungeon refresh work is these dungeon areas were the very first areas we ever made. Almost 4 years ago. So they are unfortunately they have the lowest quality to them. So I'm going to try to do it, like rework all the textures and kind of rebuild the rooms so they look nice. And I'll probably end up creating more props for it. Just kind of do a whole pass because I think right now the best looking area of the game is the ruins. And I'm going to try to raise the dungeon up to that same quality bar. Cool. I still haven't taken any damage to my. It's strange that I haven't. Okay, so player use armor. Where is use armor called from? Is my question now. Find usages. Sure. Full damage. Cool. Let's check that. Also, did I? I'm running in debug mode. Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, Mark Solly. It's a lot of work. It's a really hard sell to, like, people always get into the mode of just adding new stuff and never actually going back and like shoring up old stuff. It's just a harder like business proposition, to be honest with you. But I think like I want to make this game as good and as beautiful as I can. And I think that's part of it is fixing those older areas and making them look nice. Okay, he hit me. R equals random, so dodge chance. Looks like okay, so it looks like I dodged. I guess. Wait. So 15% chance. So if it's greater than 15%, we just take damage. If it's not, the armor gets hit. Is that what's happening? Okay. Okay, so wait, no. So okay, so there's a 15% chance that we won't take any damage at all. It'll just be a damage of 0, which may be a no-op, or there might be some more logic depending upon player being hit. So F8 armor class is minus. Oh, interesting. Because I have the bad armor on, it's never going to degrade my my armor because my armor class is less than 1. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see if I can just work around this real quick. Ah, I've got hit again. So F9. F9. Okay, let's do this real fast. F9, I'll tab, get back. So I need to put on some more armor. What's this? I'm taking damage? Okay. I'm taking damage a lot. I'm going to be dead by the time I get back. Ah! Great. Okay, let's try this again. I think that was the issue there. It's also an issue in and of itself. So that Bluestone says, where did you learn to program? I was largely self-taught, but I also, in high school, I took all the programming classes that were offered, and I did some independent studies for a few classes to learn stuff that was not taught there. And I also have a computer science degree. So even though I do the art for Delver, I'm not an artist by trade. I'm an engineer by trade. But I love both, and this project gives me an opportunity to do both, and I am super grateful for that opportunity. Okay, that should be enough, right? Put those on. And then, oh, I already had them on. Beautiful. So now my armor class is 0. Okay, so I need to add one more thing. Armor, let's say 2. Quilted leather armor. That should be higher. 4. So that should be armor class of 1. So now when I take damage, I should see the user armor and see what's going on there. Yeah, and also my previous 2 jobs. Right now, I'm self-employed. But before that, I worked for Microsoft as a software engineer, working on Visual Studio. And before that, I worked for Lexmark, working on document imaging software. So at Microsoft, I wrote a lot of crap. I wrote a lot of C#, and I wrote a lot of JavaScript and TypeScript, were the languages I used most there. And then at Lexmark, I used C++. But I also really love Python. I mean, at a certain point, like learning new programming languages really isn't a terrible thing. I guess it's just that hurdle of getting over the first language, really understanding concepts, and then you can just expand the languages you know and the concepts they provide as you mature in your programming career. So armor class greater than 0, damage. So there we go. Let's step into use armor. Okay, so for all equipped items, I have 2 equipped items. My pants and my armor. Okay, F8. So if it is armor, and its armor is greater than 0, we step into that. So this should be quilted leather armor. Okay, let's just step into this one. This one should be the pants. Curse worn leather pants trait. Current durability is 1. Durability is, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna die before I actually. Yeah, he has my number. Yep. Huh. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to. I'm fairly confident my change will work. I've tried testing it and I keep dying. Let's just uncheck all these. I only want to commit this one. Does it call this remove enchantments on armor break? Cool. Commit and sync. And let's go to this and let's look at code. Yeah, sometimes I guess I could have done like, let me do that real quick. Let's undo this. Can I? Or is it too late? All right, so enchantments removed. And armor breaks. And then down here you can say fixes number. It's 60 something, right? 60. Six. Number 66. Cool. So now when I commit and sync, it should automatically close the issue. It should. Armor doesn't chance when broken. Yeah, so yep, it's closed. Cool. So that issue is fixed. Thank you, Javier, for your bug reports and your thoroughness. Issues. Uh, so yeah, so I looked into the armor thing and the weapon thing. I think I'm going to do a little art now and just kind of relax that way. Yeah, I try to split up my stream a little bit if I can uh, between both programming and uh, art because I like to use both sides of my brain. Okay, so pop open Photoshop. I think I had split out the dungeon and the caves into their own sprite sheets, if I remember correctly. If you look at these changes, I still have kind of just lying here. So the dungeon, I'm creating a new texture sheet for the dungeon. The cave is getting its own texture sheet as well. And I'm updating the wall textures. That's where the wall texture sprites or textures are defined. Let's undo these changes. Cool. There we go. And then I'm just gonna just make some more of these textures, I think. Yeah, just try to find some cool dungeon textures. Let's do repo, I think assets, textures, dungeon. Yeah, so the textures are broken out into all the different themes. So the dungeon theme has its own texture sheet now, which is nice. Okay, I double click that and open it up in the Windows preview thing. Let's just pop it over here. Cool. I'm glad you folks don't mind me fixing bugs while I work. Yeah, because obviously the more I guess showy or flashy thing to do is to do art, and it's certainly a little bit more I guess popular. But I'm also glad folks I like watching me talk through how we triage and investigate and fix bugs. Yeah, so let me also open up. Let's look at Joshua assets, textures, temple. Yeah, so this is the one where I've really kind of broken things down fairly well, just to give myself a good set of textures to work with. Um, uh, there we go. So Bluestone says, where did Dogi go? Not quite sure what you mean? Question mark. Kotaku Case says, got the stream last week. I got the last week on the last stream, enjoying it a lot. Cool, thanks. I'm glad you are enjoying your time. This top row up here, these, try to see, don't do that. So these top row up here is all, I'm trying to figure out a good way to preview them. So let me just zoom in real close. That's probably an easy way to do it. So these textures here, these four across the top, are designed to tile both in the X and the Y. The doggy painting still should be in there. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I did remove it. Maybe I thought it was too silly. I think for these I just found I think I just down-resed and color mashed or some just some like Renaissance style paintings. I'm not sure, I mean it's okay. You folks could certainly add in the doggy painting if you want it back. You could change all the pictures to doggies. Yeah, so these four are designed to tile the X and the Y. These are designed to tile only in the X. And then we get this row down here. This row is floor and ceiling. And then I start basically another type. So these are like cave and gold. So I think for here I'm going to have XY tile, X only tile, and then floor ceiling. And then I'm going to have maybe some special stuff here, and then have a section also for the like the wooden areas of the dungeon. So I think I would like some trim pieces. I think that's what makes the temple, like, the temple looks good because there's trim pieces, but also because there's contrast. I think also not only in like value between the browns and the golds, but also if we throw on a hue sat and we turn the sat all the way down. Okay, so actually they're not, like, their values aren't that far apart. Interesting. Okay, so let me play around with what might be some cool trims to have for this area. And also, what would be some fun colors to use here as well? Let me. Oh man, did I? Yeah, I think. Oh, come on! Come on, Wacom. I just reinstalled you last Friday, and you're broken again. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Let me close out of this. Downloads. Run. Sorry, folks. My Wacom tablet drivers have been. They somehow seem to disappear on me. Wood trims could be cool, like iron trims. Even just different colors. Stone might be interesting. I'm just going to play around with colors and forms and see what I like. Sure. Accept. Oh, this is probably going to want me to restart, won't it? Oh, geez. Restart later. Let me see. Can I get to my... That might be the older one. Let me... Wacom. This one? Okay, my devices, no devices connected. Oh, so basically I have, it works as a mouse, but it's not pressure sensitive. Let me try real quick before I do anything drastic. I have a second tablet here. Let me try this one. Restart later. Yep. And I should probably use the right stylus with the right tablet. Maybe. Yeah, sorry folks, technical difficulties. I prefer using a tablet over a mouse just because I think generally my line quality is better with a tablet and I work a little bit faster. But I can also use a mouse. That is also a thing that can be done. I was literally just using this thing Friday. Come on. Let's do Wacom Desktop Center. Still no devices connected. I wonder if it doesn't help either because I have one that's ancient, like, oh man, like 8-10 years old, and this one's only a few years old, so they might use different drivers. Oh jeez. Okay, that's not gonna work either. Well, let's see what I can do without a tablet. Let's see how that works. Okay, Photoshop. Simple. Hey, Quasi TV, thank you for the host. Not sure who you are, but thanks for the host. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Just working on my video game Delver, working on some pixel art textures, so hopefully you find that interesting. Please let me know. Okay, so maybe I'll just start off by maybe, because I think this, I just duplicated one of these and just threw in some color. Um, um, and I just played around with some color to find stuff I like. So maybe I could probably just lift these real quick, just to see if it's anything I think is interesting. So let me just select. Actually, let me do it this way. Let's select all, something like that, and then just chop that out and chop that out. A lot of times, just to get the ball rolling, I'll work really quick and dirty, not worrying so much about pixel perfection. Just trying to get stuff out there, and then I can go back and fix it and make it beautiful later. Let's just start with this one. Yeah, let me. I think I. If there's a Twitch mode. Some way to. I turned on something that made people have to follow me for a certain amount of time before they can chat. And I did this as a reaction because somebody came onto my stream and threatened self-harm. That really kind of like messed me up for like a week or two. I'm trying to figure out what the command is to revert that so folks can chat. Sorry about that. Twitch. What is it called? So it's the followers command. Let me see if I can turn that off. /followers off. Is that so? See if I had a follower only mode. Cool. Hey, Kazi TV. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Yeah. Hopefully you understand why I turned it on. I tried to turn it on to a low amount, just because. Again, I had some young kid come into my chat room and threaten self-harm, and it really kind of messed me up. Oh goodness! Oh goodness! This is what genies feel like. Okay, there's a duplicate. There we go. Oh no! Duplicate that and pull it down. Obviously, the gold isn't. The gold's not going to work. I want it to be different, but I can just quickly pull the hue saturation around to find colors that I think look good. And also, you can do something like just a real basic like color wheel. Let's find a interactive color wheel. Maybe. There we go. So I think this just helps you figure out like if you want complementary, that's usually like the opposite. So the opposite, like I have a purplish color. because these are kind of like a very desat purple, so way desat. And then yeah, so like the greens would be, which I might look into. I don't know if I love the greens. Yeah, so since we have Kazi's folks join in, let me just pop over here and just play some Delver real quick. So I'm playing a video game called Delver. Delver is a procedural dungeon crawler. It is made by two people. I am one half of the Delver team. I do all the art, and I do some of the level design, and I do some programming. Again, we're a very small shop, so we wear lots of hats. So yeah, you start off in the camp. Campfire serves as a hub of sorts. This guy plays ambient music. This guy sells you magic stuff. This guy just tells you stories because he's old. And this guy sells you equipment. But since I just started a new run, or new save, in fact, I don't have very much money. I might be able to buy some arrows, but I don't even have enough money for that. So let's just jump into the dungeon. Oh, let me steal his candle. I can put the candle in my left hand, and that just gives me a little bit of extra light. You can also smash crates if you're so inclined. They have a pretty low drop chance, so I rarely drop the crates. Let me see. OFNG0, thank you for the compliments on the pixel art. I really try hard to make the game as beautiful as I can with the limited time that we have to work on it. We both work on this game in our free time. It is not our full-time gig. So, oh crap, where are we being hit from? Oh, there. So we have to be really like economic with our time usage. Let me eat some cheese so I don't die. There we go. And so all the dungeon layouts are procedural, so it's different each time you play. Again, the loot drops, all that good stuff. Nice. Let's use that. And every Sunday I stream from usually noon to 2 Pacific. But today I had to delay it a little bit. There's a poison trap over there that's just poisoning everybody, isn't it? Okay, let's just switch to our wand and try to... There we go. That was the right thing to do at that time. So yeah, so we try to give you tools to deal with different situations. So like the ice wand, there's a spread shot. Ooh, magic pants. So you can deal with multiple enemies at a time. The mace is nice because it has a very high knockback value, so you can kind of push enemies around like that. So see, she could have just, if she had survived, she would have landed on the trap, and that would have also been a factor to help ruin her day. Yeah, so we just kind of you just run through these dungeons, and the generator may throw crazy stuff at you or not. Where is it? There it is. Cool, secret door. Okay, and I'll just pop down a few levels. So there's a few levels of dungeon. There is an intermission area, or an interstitial area, whatever you call it. This is, I believe this is Bluestone. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is your library. This is actually a user mod. So our last update came out a few weeks ago, and we were really proud to have added support for user-created mods on the Steam Workshop. I believe there are 28 mods out there right now, which I'm very, very proud of everyone's work. They've done fantastic jobs, and they are high quality and beautiful. I think I still have some of these installed. I just haven't uninstalled them. So this right now isn't stock Delver, but mostly. So the caves are different. I'm also on fire now, so that's a thing to deal with. Let me try to shoot him out of the air. Yeah. So again, so we're trying to, and the snow indicates that he was slowed, so he moves slower. So we're trying to make each area feel a little bit different as far as, like, for me, like visually, like colors and like how much space is available. I want these to feel a little more claustrophobic. Also, the enemy selection also changes things up a bit. There are different kind of creepy crawly things to worry about. I wanted the levels to feel more organic and a little bit more interconnected than the dungeons. I'm in the process now of redoing the dungeon area, because it was the first area we ever created for the project, which was about 4 years ago. So it's just one of those issues where like the further you go down in the dungeon, the better the quality of like our assets are. Like we just got better as we made the game over the course of time. So the deeper you get, the better things look. So I want to come back around to the very first area and refresh that. Oh man! Oh, I didn't even. Oh man! Oh man! Yeah, Delver has had a long history. So yeah, I'll just recap the history if folks are interested in that. Um, yeah. So probably 4 or 5 years ago, the other developer, Chad, began working on this little Java game prototype, and he was inspired by some screenshots that Notch had posted on a similar little dungeon crawler thing. Um, and he took his stab at it to see like what he could make, kind of in a similar vein. And turns out that was the very first version of Delver, and it was really cool. And he posted on the TIG source forums, sharing out the alpha builds, and that's where I first noticed it. I thought the game had a lot of promise, but it had developer art in it, and I thought it could be a beautiful game. So what I did is I noticed he was just handing out jar files. And those of you who are programmers know that jar files are basically just zip files. So I began to extract out the sure magic. I extracted out the art assets and began to replace them and post screenshots of what it looked like with the replaced. Ooh, that's a really nice mace with the replaced assets. And Chad liked the work I was doing, and I guess I was one of the first modders because I was making requests on like support for slightly higher textures. I think back then they were 16 by 16 pixel textures. Nowadays we've kind of standardized Delver to 32 by 32 just to keep me sane and not having to work with too huge of textures, but we can support decently high resolution textures. There are limits though, but yeah. So he liked what I was doing, and he put the game on the Android Play Store like probably 4 years ago, and he got enough money to bring me on as a contract worker. And I worked for him as a contract worker for maybe 3 or 4 months, replacing basically all the art assets in Delver. And then once that was done, he pulled me on as partner to continue working on the project. Shortly after that, well, I guess during this time, Steam had announced the Greenlight process. It was brand new back then, and one of our community members signed. Well, he created an account for Delver, but the problem was, is the early days of Greenlight, there was no $99 fee. So he just created it, and the game was listed underneath his account. So that basically meant we had to talk to Valve, and we had to demonstrate to them, like this was our game, and we had to have them remove it from his account, and then to basically, in order to not have to go through that process again, we just put up Delver, so other folks couldn't do it. And then it just sat out on Greenlight for a year. And we were very fortunate that our community supported us. And I think it was maybe 2013 is when they greenlit that first big group of 100 games, and we were in it. It was kind of wild too, because I was at a developer conference. I was at PAX Dev, and I actually found out from another developer that I had been greenlit on the Steam, which was kind of cool, kind of weird. And then after that, like basically our little fun hobby project became a full-time project, which I guess I wasn't totally ready for, but like I wanted to see how far we could take Delver. And it was a good opportunity, and you don't want to let it slip by. So like we continued to work on this in our free time. I think for most of 2015 I took off because my wife and I had our first child, and that was a long, stressful process, and I was still working full-time at Microsoft and just trying to balance supporting my wife and working for a stressful job and doing Delver work on the side. Just didn't leave a lot of room for life. So maybe 9 months ago now, I left Microsoft to be a stay-at-home father. All right, arrows. Now I can get my poison. What kind of bow is it? It's an excellent bow. Let's get my excellent bow out. So I left Microsoft to be a stay-at-home father and to continue work on Delver because I figured, yeah, why not? Like you can raise a child while trying to start a business. So turns out kids are a lot of work. So my son is now in full-time daycare, which is excellent because it does give me more time to work. Right now, I try to do some Delver work and contract work so I can actually pay my bills because that's an important thing to do. And that's kind of where I'm at now. That's kind of my story. Delver has been long in the making, but it's because we have a two-man team, we have no budget, and we work on this solely in our free time. We're trying to make the best thing we can, so we really appreciate folks' patience with us. Like I think we've gotten to an update cadence now where we update every 3 or so months, which I mean, again, if we were full time, it would be a faster cadence, but I think that's an okay pace right now. And usually our updates are pretty substantial. Like I think the workshop update was added a lot of hopefully value for you folks, and also had bug fixes and new items in it. And you have to watch out for those guys because they do a lot of damage. So let me see. Is my volume too loud? Or is Delver's volume too loud? Thank you, Jason. Hey, Jason. Thanks for the host as well. I appreciate that, man. How are things down in Oregon? The Kotaku case says Android version is still updated. So again, Kotaku, I addressed that at the beginning of the stream, and also there's a frequently asked questions thread on Steam in the Steam forums now. But basically, the framework we built the Delver engine on top of, we have upgraded to a newer version, which will break Delver for older Android phones. So we are still trying to figure out if we can roll the update out to more recent hardware or more recent versions of Android, or if we need to create a separate SKU. But right now, we're mostly focused on trying to get the game done. I guess I put the flag down that we are going to finish the game up this year. I'm hoping that either the June update or the update beyond that is the last one. We really want to keep this like a nice, tight experience, and which is mostly just polish and like ironing out UX issues and bugs. But right now, this update I'm working on is bringing the quality bar up for the dungeon. So hopefully that's a long rant, but hopefully it kind of catches folks up to where I'm at. So color theory was what I was doing. I don't know if I like that green or that puce color. It's kind of weird. I mean, that is the contrasty color, but I don't know if I like it. Ugh. Red could be cool, or just like a really bright white. I don't know. Sometimes it helps to squint my eyes so you don't focus on details. Maybe I can just zoom it really far out. Like really far out. So I don't have to squint. I can turn that off. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's more helpful, if that's making the situation worse. Again, try maybe a contrast in actual value is good too. And when I say value, what I mean is if I were to put on a hue set and turn the set all the way down, see how the grays are roughly the same shade of gray. So if I crank the lightness on this all the way up, you get a higher value, or all the way down, you get a lower value, and that provides contrast between these two elements. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about is, do I want contrast in hue, which is color, or contrast in value, which is light to dark, or both? Usually both is better, but not always. And my poor tablet is broken. I've because yeah, for the trim areas on here, it looks like for the most part I've kept the, again, also because the way our engine, like, so again, if you buy Delver, we give you the editor, and this allows you to build room sections to make new dungeon areas, which is a lot of fun. So what I'm trying to do is, because you can do stuff like this. Let me show you. So let's set the upper wall to the temple textures, and then let's say this. And then lower wall is that, and you can do cool stuff like I could pull the ceiling up, and over here I can basically I pull the floor up and then the ceiling down, and this is a way to allow the engine to do two different textures on the same wall. You can actually do this sort of trick like in the Doom engine as well. Let me throw in some torches here so you can see it better. So I use this trick quite a bit if I want two different texture variants on a single wall. So there we go. So I want to do something similar for the dungeon areas, where I can have, like here, like I also can pick, so like this, and then the lower wall, like I have different like variants. I have a broken variant. And I can also have the generator kind of procedurally figure out which one of these to use, just by kind of like a percentage, like a die roll. But it is nice to have these options. So I need to figure out what my trim texture is going to look like. Take care, Maxali. Yeah, I do archive all my streams out to YouTube. It should just be YouTube. Let me paste my YouTube archive out there. It should be, actually, it should be down below. There should be a link in my info to the YouTube archive. I've been doing these since last July. I've been doing every Sunday and a few extras in between. So if you want to kind of see the arc of development, you can certainly do that. I typically start off each stream with a recap of what was done the previous week in development, and then I launch into working. So I guess I know, like, I want this top area should be maybe the tileable thing, maybe make it. I'm trying to add divisions right where I think it might be interesting to cut it off, so I can show you what I mean. So. Come on. Yeah, so trying to work without a tablet is goofing me up a little bit. Let me just merge all this down, let me save it, and then let's fire up the editor and take a peek. File, this is fine. So here, let's pick our texture, and it's not, the T1 is the old, the texture atlas, but now the new one I created is called Dungeon. And so let's say the upper wall is the big block, and the lower wall is our trim texture, which is going to look bad, but it gives you an idea of what I'm kind of talking about, so I don't sound like a crazy person. And then here, again, I can do the trick where I pull this up, and then I pull this one down. And I try to build it, basically the texture based on powers of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, no, that's, no, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, etc. In Delver, it tends to be, since the textures are 32 by 32, I tend to do divisions of 16, 8, and 4. So if I were to push the ceiling down a little bit, the texture would nicely snap there, or also nicely snap up here, depending upon the floor height. Because you cannot adjust the texture vertically. You can only adjust actual height and depth of the floor and ceiling. That's the only real thing you have to play with. So you have to be kind of careful in your texture creation so things kind of work out. So for example, I could just do something like this and just kind of add like big blocks maybe. So let's do that. Yeah, painting with a mouse feels weird. Sorry, folks. Oh, I guess I flattened out all my layers, so oh well, no biggie. I don't. G brush. Maybe offset this by make a new layer. Just paint these like this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there we go. So merge save. I can't remember if I hit K. No. P for play mode. K refresh. Did that? Yeah, that pulled in the new texture. Cool, that is handy. So now you can see how that lines up nicely there. Also, if I were to pull it up, that lines up nicely. So maybe having these kind of line up to the increments of 4 or 8 or 16 makes sense. Maybe, let's see. All right. Maybe just real quick, I'm just going to just block in, maybe add a highlight. And then these typically have this weird kind of side, like underlit kind of stuff going on. Again, this was an old. These are some of the original Delver textures also that when I went through and replaced. So I'm touching them up a little as I go, but trying not to mess with them too much. I think you may notice there's a lot more dither on these pieces. Okay, and I should have. I have some custom gradient or some custom fills. So let's just do. I think I call it dither 50%. Yep. So let's do that. Let's turn that off. Let's just select this. Turn that back on. I think also. At one point in time, I had some nice pixel brushes that use these patterns. Let me just recreate those so you can see what I mean. So over here, let's hit V for brush, and it's on the pencil tool, which is what you want in Photoshop to create nice pixel perfect sprite art. So you get these nice, aliased edges. If you use the normal brush, even if you turn the hardness all the way up to 100%, you still get alias, which is not what you want for pixel art. You want to control pixel placement very precisely. So pencil tool is what you want to use. But what I can do is I can also say they have tool presets. So let's do look at the brushes, and then I think I want to turn off transfer. So I'm not using my tablet right now, but I want a texture. I think that's what I want. Dither 50%. Yep, that's cool. I think this is right. So let me, real quick, let me just test it out. So make my brush bigger, and then blat. That's exactly what I want. So what I can do now is for the tool presets, I should be able to create a new tool preset. Also, let me reset my colors to default. Hit that. And this is 50% dither brush. Cool. So now I can quickly select that when I want to do a 50% dither. Let's just change this back to, let's make it a preset for just our basic no dither brush. So I can quickly toggle between the two. Let me put the no dither. Can I order these or not? Okay. So this looks like that, and then this one looks like that, which can be helpful for doing different tasks. So with the 50% dither brush, I can select, say, this. I think it's just a darker purple. Looks like I have multiple colors of purple going on here, which I might need to fix. Let me merge down. And let me select, I think I rebalanced some of the colors, so let me select this like that, then shift it to that. And then select this and that, and then use maybe the darker one. I think I was just popping the contrast up a bit. I think that was all that changed. Okay, cool. So now with my dither brush here, Let's create a new layer real quick. Let's get a good size, maybe something like that, and just get the this stuff blocked in. It's the wrong color though. Maybe one more. It's behaving strangely. Tip shape size. Oh, that should be fine. Hmm. There we go. Maybe it's just the usage of the shift tool. Okay. And then maybe just a quick just go back to the no dither brush. Just put some of these. I think I have these little light again on these. But yeah, it might be my usage of the shift tool that's goofing that up. Cool. And then try to make this make sense, you know. Real quick, I can add a new layer. Select this. Let's do turn on contiguous and just select this. Go up here, hide my selection, go back to my brush, 50% dither brush, and let's just grab that. I can real quickly just kind of slide this along. Not sure why it's not painting that. Okay, there we go. And these typically have some dither on the edges, and then a little bit across the bottom. Maybe clean this up a little bit. That might be too much, but we can always back it off. At least 2 rows, I think, is okay. Just trying to keep a consistent look. It's nice that I've already defined it, so go back to my no dither brush. Kind of break up these highlights. Cool. This might, let me see, this might also, let me see. Again, it's just not popping, right? Like it looks exactly like the rest of the brick, so that's not, um, uh, just not feeling that. Also, folks, I'm doing 2 hours today, so I have about 10 minutes left on my stream. So if there's anything you'd like to see me work on, please let me know. Yeah, so I think I can do play mode, K, refresh, then, oh, I didn't save it. That would be why. Let me just flatten all these layers. Right. Yeah, so I guess going into play mode itself already does a refresh, which is nice. Again, also like because it's still like the same color and the same like relative value, it's not looking great. I tried doing a little bit of that with the darkness there, which doesn't make sense. Let me try real quick. Let me try something like duplicating that and pulling that down and sliding that over. Just doing just a real quick kind of. There we go. Okay, and then if I change the color, or let me just try some hacky stuff, but let's see if we can get it going. So like lightness, actually, let's try the hue first, and I can play with the levels. Blue is okay. I almost want it more sat, maybe. It's hard. Maybe since I already have a second color with these, maybe it makes more sense to actually use the color from that. I did something similar in the sewers. So let me select this. Let me duplicate that. Let me select this. There. Why is it not picking? Weird. It's only picking my secondary color, which is not desirable. Okay, and then this. Let's turn off contiguous. And let's do that. Do that. And then this one goes there. Okay. I think I've really backed off the highlights there. Let me see. Let's just grab these, make them this color, and make, say, these this color, and then these this color. Cool-ish. Let me take a look at chat. Hey, thanks, Scorpion Pioneer. That's very kind of you to say. Chris, had I thought of doing mesh trims? Yeah. If you look, we do have mesh trims. It's just you have to do it all by hand. And the thing I liked most about the ruins is that the generated stuff and the hand-built stuff work better together. And it's just a lot more work. It's easier just to have the stuff built into the textures and just have the generator crank out the same kind of quality stuff as my hand stuff. Because I think you can do something like entity, misc mesh, or architecture meshes, and then you have like trim. And this, like when I built this, it probably wasn't built correctly to grid, but you can kind of do stuff like this. But then again, it's just more fragile than I would like it to be. And then also you get the weird thing too, where like is the detail level set correctly on these? Otherwise they're going to be popping in and out based on quality settings. So I think I try to keep as much as I can in the texture, and then occasionally pull stuff out into props as needed. I'll definitely be making more props for the dungeon area. Yeah. Versailles says, what is our tech stack? So the engine is written in Java. We use the libgdx framework, which is built on top of the LWJGL framework, which is a wrapper for OpenGL. Okay. Hopefully that made sense. Let me just switch to my dither brush. So Python user says, how does the player start marker work? The player start marker works only for the camp level. So if you were to, here's a file open, and you could look at levels start. You will see over here there is a player start marker. And this is where the player spawns into the level. Besides that, what you want to use are the up and down stairs markers. So I think, let me see, place marker, I think exit location, and place marker stair up. I think these are the two you want to use. I think I fixed stare down. So if you put stare down, it's a question mark because that marker actually doesn't work anymore. It's an old Um, it's an old marker. Yeah, so Python user is also pointing out it's also in beginnings. Let's look at beginnings. So file, open. Let's look at generator, dungeon. So there's beginnings and there's starts, and they're two different things. And I'll talk about that real quick. So in beginnings, one, load. Yeah, I guess you do have a player start here because this very first one is special. I guess yeah, these are special because they have this door marker. I think if I open up like let's open up like let's look at the ruins. The ruins starts. You look at these, and they don't have a player start marker. They just have a stair up. Let's also look at, say, open. Let's see how the caves do it. So the cave has a start. Again, yeah. Yeah, they have a stair up. I think it's just a special case for the dungeon because that's the very first floor. Okay, so the difference between starts and beginnings. It's a little confusing, but here's how it works. So a start is the room where a player starts when they enter a new dungeon level. A beginning is like a start, but it is the very first room that a player enters when they enter a new theme, if that makes sense. So if you were to go from the cave into the sewers, for Sewers 1, you will get pulled a room out of beginnings. And for any subsequent sewer levels, it comes out of starts. So if you want to have like a special fancy start to your theme, that's how you would enable that. Let me see. Bluestone says the stare down marker actually works for the levels. So the thing is, if you add a marker and you use the stare down, the problem is it will correctly generate a stare down, but it will always generate a stare down. Whereas, if you have multiple pieces with these in them, your dungeon will have multiple exits to the next level down, and which is a little weird. Yeah, the first dungeon also uses so if you look at file, open, levels, start, it actually uses an entity right here. This is a button decal, which triggers the start game. I think this is, let's go view collision boxes. Yeah, so here there's a stairs down entity that you can't see, but if you turn on collision boxes, you can see it. It's separate from the button decal. And all this does is it just, when triggered, it goes down a level. That's how we work that. Yeah, cool. All right, well, it is 4 o'clock, so it's time for me to go hang out with my family. Let me see. So Flying Fish 45 says, is that Overworld mod chat made a re-emergence of adding Overworld to Delver, or an example of modders? So it is just, it is for modders only. Delver will not have an Overworld, but if folks wish to add large expansive areas, that is a way to do it. Cool. So let me kind of wrap things up here. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of work done on these trim textures, so I apologize for that. Hopefully throughout the week I'll find time to work. Maybe, maybe not. Let me see. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for the folks who have bought in the game that directly financially supports me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by the stream. I look forward to every Sunday. It's my favorite day to kind of work and chat with you folks. Let me see. If you want to follow me, you can follow me here on Twitch. You can follow me here on Twitter at Joshua Skelly. I usually post small Delver snippets out there. Delver also has a Twitter page. It's at Delver Game. We also have a Delver Facebook page, which I can talk about real quick. Facebook.com/Delver Game Official. It should be the URL on that one. Double check Delver. Yep, Delver Game Official. And I've been doing a thing now, starting last week, where I'm doing a Mod Mondays. So the first Mod Mondays, I featured Javier's. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, Javier's Weapon Expansion mod. I'll feature a community mod every Monday because I'm really excited about those. So keep an eye on this Facebook page. I'll post a different mod. People can talk about it. I think that's all I have for you. I will see you next Sunday. Take care, everybody. I've had a great stream.